Hey, all right. So, Heather, I need to be on a restrictive diet because those rules really keep me in place. They really make me lose the weight until they don't. And what do I mean by that? All too often, I will talk to somebody who has been on a very restrictive diet. They've been eating from Tupperware containers, counting the macros, eliminating the food. They've got a belief about how it has to look. And what I'll say is, well, how consistent are you with tracking? And they'll say, well, when I'm following the restrictive approach, I'm very good at tracking. But when I stop following the restrictive approach, I don't track. Or I'll say, okay, and how long have you been weighing yourself? And same thing, I weigh myself when I'm following the restrictive approach. But when I'm not, I stop weighing myself. AKA, we're only doing the things when we can adhere to the restrictive plan, which thus means the restrictive plan doesn't work, because whatever it is you're buying into that you have to do, the foods you have to eliminate, the macros you have to adhere to come hell or high water, the 21-day fixed containers you have to fill just so, in some point in your year, you're going to come up on somebody's birthday. You're going to have a holiday. You're going to have workers inviting you out for happy hour. You're going to have this thing called life, right? Where all of a sudden, whatever that restrictive approach is that you think is working for you isn't working because you can't make your real life fit into it, okay? And this is important. This is where when we say, I like that feeling of restriction, I like to feel like I got these hard rules to follow, this is where it falls down, because in reality, when you go to little Johnny's birthday party and you want cake and it doesn't fit on the food list that's approved, or it doesn't fit into whatever the thing is you're doing, all of a sudden it's I'm just going to abandon the restrictive plan and I'll pick it up next week. I'll get to it next week or next month or whatever. And then that happens and you don't. And there's a lot of what we like to see, like what I would call stopping and starting, right? Like 1 minute you're doing all the things, the next minute you're doing none of the things. That really, for the long term, is not going to help you lose the weight and keep it off. So as much as the restrictive thing makes you feel safe and secure, because you feel you know the rules are laid out for you, it feels like something that gives you forced control. In reality, because you can't control 100% of everything in your life all the time, and there's these X factors that come in, like birthdays, holidays, vacations, trips, you've got to learn a different way of going about it. And this is why I talk about creating a program for you, designed by you, where you evaluate your habits and you say, how do I normally handle birthdays? Maybe I eat all the food. Well, maybe instead you just choose to have a slice of pizza and a slice of cake, and you track it, right? Like you actually choose to write it down. You choose to own that decision. And because you're not doing a super restrictive approach, you don't have to worry about going against the rules. You're learning as you go. What do? I write it down. I find my calorie target. I try to adhere to that as much as I can. But I can also be free to have maintenance calorie days. Some days I may even go over maintenance calories. If it's Thanksgiving or a big holiday, totally could happen. And then what do? I just dial it back in the next day. There's no hard, fast rules to this that you have to adhere to. And in that, it feels uncomfortable because you don't have those hard, fast rules. But on the flip side, it makes it what we call maintainable. It makes it to where in the nuance and the gray areas, you're actually able to continue to work toward your goals and then maintain your weight once you get there. Because life is never going to be compliant with what your restrictive rules are allowing, and there may be times you don't want to live by them. You may want the cake, you may want the pizza, you may want the burger, the beer, whatever. You got to make sure whatever program you're following, whatever you design for yourself, is truly sustainable. All right, guys, I hope this message helps. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know how I can help you in the comments, and I will talk to you soon.